This is the greatest piece of guidance I've ever received about building substantial wealth. It came from a millionaire I admired as a child, and it stayed with me ever since. Back then, I was anxious that I'd never have enough cash to afford the things I always dreamed of. His exact words were, "Don't stress about making millions. Instead, focus on the first $100,000. After that, your net worth will skyrocket." At the time, I didn't fully grasp it, but I followed his advice, and sure enough, it worked. So, why is the first $100K the toughest? There are two primary reasons. The first is your earning potential. Think of it like your level in a video game. You just haven't played long enough to build your abilities, so you can't compete with more experienced players. It's the same with making money early in life. And honestly, this challenge is worsening. A new study found that Gen Z has about 86% less purchasing power than my generation, the boomers, did at the same age. Why? Older workers are staying in the job market longer, making higher paying roles harder to secure, but it's not all negative. The internet provides opportunities for younger people to earn far more than older generations, since many don't even know how to navigate Instagram, let alone run an online business. When it comes to tech, most boomers can't keep pace with you guys, unlike me. The second reason the first $100K is so challenging is your lack of compound growth. Imagine your money as a snowball. When you roll it down a hill by investing, it collects more snow, which is compound interest. The larger your snowball becomes, the more snow it gathers, and the more your returns multiply. Sounds incredible, right? Well, yes and no. Here's why. If you don't yet have $100K, your snowball simply isn't big enough to generate significant returns. For example, invest $10,000 into an S&P 500 index fund with an average annual return of 7%. In 5 years, it grows to $14,176. That's 5 years just to make $4,176. That's why the first $100K is so difficult. At this stage, it's about how much you can contribute, not how much your money earns for you. So you need to boost your income however possible. For me, it was no different. I worked at least 3 different side gigs simultaneously just to make enough. And resisting the temptation to spend on vacations or luxury brands, brutal. But it's worth it because once you hit that first $100K, growing your wealth becomes dramatically easier. So why does your net worth take off after $100K? Simple. Compound interest stops being weak and starts being explosive. Look at this. Investing $10K per year at a 7% average return, reaching the first $100K takes 7.84 years. But going from $100K to $200K takes only 5.1 years. That's 35% faster. From $200K to $300K, just 3.78 years. From $300K to $400K, only 3 years. And from $400K to $500K, about 2.5 years. The growth accelerates, but it all begins after that first $100K. So the key is reaching that milestone as quickly as you can. Every year you shave off that journey brings you closer to millionaire status much faster. Once you hit $100K, if you simply keep investing in a low-cost index fund, wealth becomes almost inevitable. Even if you stopped after saving $100K and left it in an S&P 500 fund without adding another dollar, you'd still become a millionaire in 33 years. That's the strength of compound interest once your base is built. So how do you reach your first $100K? Use what I call the growth method. It's the system I designed to help me in the early days of wealth building. G, gain control of your money. The only way is budgeting. Don't see it as rules to kill fun. See it as a guide for smarter choices. You don't need extreme frugality, but you do need to separate needs from wants. R, root your investments. Say you invest $250 monthly into an S&P 500 fund with a 7% annual return. In 40 years, you'll have $656K, of which $536K comes from compound interest. You only put in $120K yourself. Impressive, right? And if you can get that first $100K working sooner, you'll do even better. O, optimize your tax strategy. Sounds complicated, but it's simple. Legally avoid paying unnecessary taxes. Tax avoidance is smart. Tax evasion is illegal. Entrepreneurs are taxed on profits, meaning they can deduct expenses. Employees can't. So, if you love tech, start a YouTube channel reviewing gadgets. Once it earns money, you can deduct your devices as business costs. The government essentially helps you pay for what you want. Just make sure it's justified by your business. That's why building a side hustle around your passion is powerful. I did it with my model shops, and my son does it with his video production company. Weed out debts. The average American carries nearly $22,000 in debt. List your debts and attack the highest interest ones first. This is the dark side of compounding. It can work against you. Think of debt as sunlight melting your snowball. Even small payments help. Don't ignore debt because it will drag you down. Pay it off and see it as investing in your $100K. T. Tap into extra income streams. Side hustles diversify your earnings. As of 2023, half of Americans run side hustles, even high earners. More income means more to invest. More snow to your snowball. H. Heighten your self-discipline. To apply all of this, you need discipline. Discipline is the currency of success. The more you mint, the wealthier your future will become.